Over the past year, the Kamen Rider franchise has seen a new series air instead of its usual Toei Tokusatsu fan club specials that bring back past actors to cross over with the new writers. Outsiders has gone for the smorgasbord approach of fuck it, get back anyone who'll agree to the contract, and it's been a treat. Even if it makes no sense at times, but regardless, it's always fun to see an actor come back to reprise their past roles. So today, I want to talk about 5 characters that I'd love to see in Outsiders. Even if they only show up for one episode, I think their inclusion could help close out a character's arc that wasn't handled properly in show, give new life to a fan-hated character, or even just be fun fan service. I only have 2 rules for this list, and that's no main writers, and no one from a series that's already gotten representation in Outsiders. So without further ado, let's get into it. Iori Izumi, Kamen Rider Ibuki. Full transparency, I have yet to watch Ibuki. It's next on the list of writer shows that I gotta watch, and I just kinda feel bad for this guy. Every other secondary writer has a final form at this point, and yet he doesn't? Even Kaixa and Garen, who stood next to him as the only secondaries with no final form, have both gotten their final forms, with next Kaixa showing up in the upcoming Fies reunion special. And, well, we already saw King Garen for Outsiders, so yeah. So we're left with this guy who feels weirdly weak next to everyone else. But this can also somewhat redeem Hibiki's second half. From what I've heard, Hibiki was originally meant to gain strength by stripping himself of armor. A unique take that's the opposite of most writers' final forms. But after the staff change in the second half, they went back on this and gave him the aptly named armed form, and to a lot of fans of Hibiki's first half, this felt like a spit in the face. So to bring back Ibuki and have him gain a form that was more in line with what Hibiki was originally going for could soften the blow for fans of Hibiki who still feel betrayed to this day. Number 4, Kotoro Nogami, Kamen Rider New Deno. I know I said I wouldn't talk about seasons that already have rep in Outsiders, but to be fair, Yuto is a Deno writer who's using a 01 driver that uses Decade's gimmicks, so yeah, I think a more on-brand rep for Deno would be nice for those fans. Also, Kotoro is really the poster child for untapped potential in Kamen Rider. He was introduced in Saraba Deno and has made a few reappearances since, but he never really develops as a character besides his Cho Deno movie, which was admittedly the best Cho Deno movie for what that's worth, and a small moment in All Riders, but aside from that, he's really not that memorable as a character. I think him returning could be interesting. Perhaps something goes wrong in the future because of the fight between Zane and the Outsiders, and he has to go back in time to fix it. Whether this lands him on the side of the Outsiders or Zane, who's to say? I think it's just fair that the guy who was meant to replace the original Deno finally has some kind of impactful character moment. Number 3, Nadeshko, Kamen Rider Nadeshko. Weird name. But anyway, I love Nadeshko. She's so cute. Her suit is so cute. Her relationship with Gentaro is so cute, and she's just cute. And that's really all she is. You're telling me you have a sapient alien life and all you can do is make her cute? Come on, guys. I know she's got more potential than that. Tie her to the presenters and tie up that unnecessary plot thread from Forza's final arc. All I'm saying is my man Gentaro's girl deserves more respect than what you're giving her, Toei. So, Yaguruma, Kamen Rider Kickhopper, and Shun Kagayama, Kamen Rider Punchhopper. You know, I've made it no secret that I'm not the biggest fan of G.O. But one thing I will say, the Kabuto episodes with the Hell Brothers, oh lord, they had me wanting more from these boys. Yaguruma is in an interesting position with Gio resetting everything with its ending. Yaguruma is left back where he was at the end of Kabuto, with Kagayama dying in his arms, but where is he now? Yaguruma seems pretty lost without Kagayama at his side in Gio, so let's keep that going. Perhaps he's become like Dine from Final Fantasy VII, a crazy man killing people to keep his brother company in the afterlife. That is, until he comes across Foundation X, who can currently revive writers from the dead, and promises to work for them on the condition that they'll bring back Kagayama before ultimately betraying them and running away with his newly revived brother. Regardless of how he's handled, I think a series about a ragtag team of evil riders coming together to fight an absolute good would be incomplete without the original Hell Bros. Before we get into number 1, I want to give a big thank you to my friend Zenkai Pool, who agreed to be in this video. So, take it away, Zenkai.
Hey y'all, it's Zenkais invading this video to make it 10 times better. The rider I would want to see return in Kamen Rider Outsiders is Kamen Rider Sid from Kamen Rider Gaim. Sid was a man who sold a lot of Loxy to young people on the streets from the big bad corporation Yaguruma. And I think he would be a really good choice, mostly because we never really got to know him on a deeper level before he got turned into Jerry Juice. Unless he counted Gain Gaiden, but even then, that was still quite small. And with his suit being Viking themed and all, along with Cherry as his main form, you could easily make a new form for him called Blueberry Energy Arms, since apparently Vikings ate blueberries during that time. And I would also think Sid would also want a piece out of Zane, potentially ruining his shady business if he got revived.
Thanks again to Zenkai. I'm gonna leave a link to his channel in the description. If you're interested in the tokusatsu fan dubbing scene, totally go check him out. He does a lot of great work. And now for my number 1, Mitsuzane Kurashima Kamen Rider Ryugen. What a Gaim character at number 1 on one of my lists. Who could have seen this coming? Yeah, okay, cringe jokes aside. Gaim is my favorite season of Kamen Rider with my absolute favorite characters, but it's always bugged me that Michi never had a full redemption arc. He ends Gaim with beginning his redemption, and when we see him in Gaim X Drive, he saves Mai, which is great, but Michi did a lot of damage in Gai, and I don't think one save can make up for all of that. Especially when you remember he was always a bit evil. Hell, he gets his driver in that show by strong-arming Sid to give him one, and that's what I want him to play with. Michi, being someone who's always trying to be good but has a streak of evil in him, would be a great wild card to throw into the mix. Michi would be sent to fight the Outsiders alongside Zane. He would go instead of his brother Takatora, who's busy with the new breed of Helheim, Sylphie introduced in Gridon vs. Bravo. Michi wants to fight for justice, but he will stoop to the level of the enemy to do it. But would Michi truly stoop to the level of someone like Asakura to save the day? Or would he finally control the darkness inside of him and use it to fight for good? Either way, I think our great boy would be a great inclusion to the cast of The Outsiders. Anyway, those are the 5 writers I want to see return in Outsiders. Thanks to all of you for watching, my friend Zenkai for his guest part, and do all the YouTube things that help with video and performance. Goodbye.